Yo, once again, this is the Prof, and like I always say, if you're not down with the bullshit and you're down with the real shit, subscribe and like this video. I see something recently where they were talking about how there were some former players on a sports talk show, and they were talking about how you know you need teammates when you're all together on the same team. You need everybody needs to bond. Everybody needs to have a relationship outside of the team, away from the practice facility, away from just the rigors of the game schedule and everything. And guys who want to be standoffish into themselves, like that creates a problem because you need that camaraderie and stuff. And you have some guys that will be on teams where, you know, outside of the game and the rigors of practice and, uh, the daily going ons of the business aspect of it, you won't really see some guys, and they say that presents a problem. The whole thing about it is a person has a right to be who they are. In fact, you should want somebody to be who they really are, not want somebody to be who they're not. Um, it might build chemistry, but there has been guys who have been great athletes, um, who weren't actually those buddy types who just who hung out with everybody, went to the clubs and went skirt chasing and carousing and drinking and doing everything that gets a lot of athletes in trouble. There's been guys who have been great athletes, great teammates, as it pertains to getting the job done. You know, when you start talking about like they should be available outside of, you know, the whole, occupation that you guys are involved in, you can't just say that somebody has to involve themselves with you like that. You know, it seems like there's some kind of comfort zone that you need in order for you to feel good about dealing with certain people. You might want to bond like that because of the simple fact you want to know whether or not this guy is some kind of snitch. Like if he sees me shooting up some PEDs, is he going to tell? You know what I'm saying? Is he's the kind of guy where, hey, you want to build that camaraderie so that like when I'm cheating on my wife, if he knows something about that, he won't tell. You know what I'm saying? Or uh, see, there's other things that you can contribute to what's being said here. Not just, oh no, we're just trying to build camaraderie and be buddy. That guy has a right to be. Hey, he could be like, he has a right to be who he is, be how he is. As long as I come out here and I lay it on the line, you know, every Sunday if you're a football player, or whenever game day is, if you're a baseball, basketball player, or hockey player, as long as I lay it on the line for the team and I go all out, what more do you need from me, to do? What more is there for me to do? Um, I remember, if people can think back, that's was a thing that was said about Kobe Bryant. Teammates used to say that when he played for the Lakers, like in the early years, that Kobe would never go out with them. He didn't bond with the rest of the team. He wasn't He wasn't trying to be like one of the boys, one of the guys. Now we're talking about one of the greatest basketball players of all time. The guys who are on his team who don't have a drop of his damn fucking talent were sitting up there saying that shit, right? Okay. You look at Shaq. Shaq was sitting up there, doing movies. He was rapping, and Shaq would present himself kind of like a goofball or a big tall Neanderthal to a certain extent. I mean, everybody didn't think his antics was very, very presentable. He was supposed to be a leader of that team also, and in a lot of ways, how Shaq act was buffoonish and stuff like that. And it was supposed to be where Phil Jackson had told him, you know, if you ever want to win championships, you know, uh, you're going to have to start concentrating on basketball. And he told Shaq another thing he told Shaq was, he said, if you want to have a long career, He told Shaq, he said, you need to lose weight. You can't just keep going through, year after year weighing 350 damn pounds. It's gonna start wearing your knees, your legs, your feet, your stuff. You're gonna start having back problems. And remember, he got that arthritic toe, and after that, Shaq was no longer the same because he didn't listen. He kept being big because Shaq thought, no, my game is based upon me being bigger and more powerful than other centers and stuff. He didn't think like, yo, okay, uh, I'll slim down, lose the weight, and stuff like that. Watch my diet and focus like that. The one thing he did do, he did stop focusing on, you know, um, being um, in movies, and he had stopped making those rap albums. He did listen to that part. And after listening to, Phil Jackson, he went on and won 3 straight championships. But, you see these guys, and he could have probably, man, he could have probably won more than that. He probably could have won 5 or 6 himself if he'd have really took care of, himself. Had better physical conditioning, had a better diet, and went down, in weight. But you know, that whole thing saying that, you know, guys need to, you know, hey, Jason Fatlock, Jason Whitlock, but you know, people that's in the know, y'all know that, yeah, some people will refer to him as that because big ass girth that he has. But he said, hey man, any relationship, sometimes you gotta do things that you don't want to do. Just like if you're married or you with a woman, you're gonna have to go some places that you don't want to go sometimes, and then go there and grin and bear it and have a smile on your face. But that's at the same time when the truth of the matter about that is that's a way of you know, trying to paint a false positive of being a simp. See what I'm saying? But why do you have to simp out, sell yourself out, be something you're not, just to get along with people? And you're trying to project that as a positive characteristic, like to display. Then once you start being fake, who the fuck knows who the hell is the real you? You know what I'm saying? And that brings me to another thing, like just in that itself, people not being who they are, people not wanting to project the true them and thinking that something is good about that. See that whole thing with him saying stuff like that, or those guys on the panel, the former athletes, talking about how you need to step outside yourself and do things that more so help you bond with them. Kobe Bryant, um, like I said earlier, he was like that guy, and that was something that was said about him uh, earlier in his career, by some of the guys who used to play on the Lakers. Kobe, he doesn't go out with us. Now, anybody remember, Kobe came into the league, what was Kobe, like 17 going on 18 or 18 years old? This guy is still basically a kid. I don't care even if you want to paint it and say he was legal at 18. The mentality of him at that point, same thing like when LeBron came in, any player at that time you have to look at as being like still having the mindset of being a kid. These guys are not grown men. They don't know anything about the things that grown men do and stuff like that at that point in time. But look at what happened when Kobe got into that situation in Colorado when he was messing around with that woman at that uh, um, wasn't a massage parlor. It was a resort. You know, he was at like rehabbing and stuff like that from some kind of injury that he had at the time. But you remember he messed with that woman. Now, how do anybody know? You might can speculate that that was influenced maybe by some of the guys. You know how guys talk to guys sometimes, and somebody might have been in the locker room. They might have said, "Hey, Kobe, hey man, you ain't got no girl on the side or nothing like that. You just with your wife, and that's it." And he might have was like, yeah, man, I'm married, man. Like, oh man, a lot of us married, but shoot, hey, these are the perks, dude. What's the sense of being a, influential, rich man if you can't enjoy it? Like you don't have to just settle down with just your wife and just be just solely dedicated to her in that sense. I mean, there's ways to get around that, man. You can have your little side thing. I mean, these are the fruits, man. Like, and there could have been like this whole, you know, pandering to his ego and older guys that's been in the league for some years, uh, being an influence uh, to him making a decision to actually step outside his marriage and mess with that woman. And look what trouble it got him into. You know, and I know a lot of black women they like to use examples that say, yeah, see what happens when you go out there messing with those white women. Like I don't know why they always say that shit. I don't know why you got this woman. You got black women to do the same damn thing. I don't know why they try to attach that shit to. That's a white woman's. Black women do the same damn thing. They'll call the police on you for no damn reason, and everybody fucking knows this. Anybody was serious, so he shook me out. Even when some of the dudes who black dudes who try to pander for black women's attention and validation and shit like that, or go along this saying, yeah, when you go with them white, but shut your ass up, you stupid fool. You know damn well black women do the same. It don't matter the race, nationality, woman. Shit, any damn woman can do that shit. But anyway, I think like when he came on TV and he was really remorseful and sorry for that situation. I think that man was really, that man was serious. He he looked at what he did and he was like, oh shit, like man, I don't want to lose my wife and kids and stuff like that. I think uh, he had to buy his wife that $4.1 million ring and stuff like, and I guess he did it as a gesture. They said that he had put. They said not only that, but he had put some of the mansions that he had in his name. He turned around and put some of those in her name. Like he had to give her, I guess, some kind of, incentive to stay with him by sacrificing some of his investments, and you know, so it just shows you that man paid a lot just for, you know, indulging in behavior that maybe some guys were in there trying to influence upon Kobe as, hey, this is just, what men do, like, hey, yeah, trying to get him to be like them. You see what I'm saying? You got to be true to who you are. Something is wrong if you don't want to be who you are. I don't understand people that do that. What is, you know, you have people who honestly don't like who they are, you know, and it, the, speaking how I've been speaking, it leads me to also talking about uh, that uh, uh, in the sense that that factors in too. You, fake people, perpetrators. That's not a good thing to teach children growing up. You should be ashamed to be who you are because maybe you won't be accepted in certain circles and stuff. So you should try to portray an image that you're not so that you can fit into this circle or this category or be appreciated and valued by a certain group of people. Why do you need to do that? Why can't they just value you and respect you for who you are?